Surface treatment is a generic term for job procedures in which a damaged or replaced body panel is renovated in order for successful implementation of surface coating. Surface treatment is an important process because it can affect coating quality and repair efficiency to a large extent. In this film, we will explain the types and characteristics of materials used for surface treatment construction. Classification of putty. Polyester putty, commonly referred to as putty. It is a kind of pasty material blended from pigment, filling material, resin, solvent, and dryer. It is used in automotive painting maintenance to fill and level up the defects such as surface cavities, weld seam repair marks, scratches, and rust corrosion on panel till the panel surface gets flat and smooth. There are many kinds of putty used in automotive coating repair, which shall be selected according to the quality requirements, surface materials, and the functions of putty. Classification of putty: polyester putty, epoxy putty, and nitrocellulose putty. Polyester putty is commonly used two-component product prepared from unsaturated polyester resin, filling material, a small amount of pigment and styrene, using organic peroxide as a hardener. Polyester putty has the advantages like fast drying, strong adhesion, no easiness to crack, good filling property, easy grinding, and small shrinkage after curing, and is widely applied in the automotive repair industry. Epoxy putty is a kind of two-component product mainly composed of epoxy resin using amine as a hardener. Since epoxy putty has good flexibility and adhesion, it is often used to repair plastic parts. However, its curing, forming, and polishing properties are inferior to those of polyester putty. Nitrocellulose putty falls within one component type and can be used without mixing with a curing agent. It consists mainly of nitrocellulose or acrylic resin. It is mainly used to fill scratches, pinholes, or shallow recesses left after the application of the midway primer. Nitrocellulose putty is a one-component solvent-type product. When in use, be careful to seal the cap to prevent solvent from volatilizing and resulting in failure of the putty. Before use, the main material of putty shall be evenly mixed to avoid problems such as precipitation and increase in viscosity caused by evaporation of solvent. If the main raw material of putty and the curing agent have been separated, the post-mixing composition ratio may vary, and the putty cannot function as needed. Be sure to stir the putty before use and mix the main material with the stirring rod until the separated solvent is mixed uniformly. The main material attached to the edge and cover of the putty barrel after mixing shall be wiped clean with solvent. Avoid the problem that the evaporation of solvent leads to the failure to function of the putty. The curing agent may also be separated, so it is necessary to mix the curing agent before use. Tighten the curing agent cap and rub the tube. To mix putty, squeeze an appropriate amount of curing agent onto the agitation plate. Ensure that the curing agent is not exposed to the main material, and determine the dosage of the curing agent as per a basic proportion, namely 2 to 3 portions of curing agent to 100 portions of putty. If putty and curing agent show marbling, it is necessary to continue mixing the two components for sufficient mixing. The putty begins to cure and becomes too hard to apply in 5 minutes after curing agent is added to the main material. Therefore, the putty shall be synthesized within 1 minute. There are many kinds of primers for automotive repair, which shall be selected according to different quality requirements, surface materials, and matching top coat. The most commonly used automotive repair coating primers include alloy primer, epoxy primer, polyurethane primer, and nitrocellulose primer. The following is a brief introduction to the features and construction methods of the primer for automotive repair. An alloy primer, also known as a wash primer, can form a phosphide film, or referred to as conversion coating, on metal surface by a chemical reaction. As a rule, it shall not be used as a primer alone and must be used in conjunction with other primers. Before the alloy primer is used, it is recommended to refer to the product manual and deploy it in the non-metallic container. It is forbidden to directly scrape coat the putty and spray silver paint on the alloy primer. Epoxy primer. Epoxy resin functions as the main film-forming substance. An epoxy primer features high adhesion, good anti-rust performance, and good film flexibility. It has very good adhesion to the surfaces of aluminum-magnesium alloy and light metal, stainless steel, and fiberglass, etc. During the painting operation, the epoxy primer can be applied by either spraying mainly or brushing. Never fail to refer to the product manual before use. Polyurethane Midway Primer. Polyurethane coating primer is a two-component, chain reaction type product needing to be mixed with curing agent prior to use. It features perfect post-application coating property and can strengthen the sealing and filling up effect of the primer layer. It can also enhance the adhesion between primer and top coat and avoid problems such as solvent absorption of surface coating. During construction, attention shall be paid to the functions in the coating and quality construction of the Midway primer. Nitrocellulose Midway Primer. Nitrocellulose Midway Primer falls within two one-component solvent-type product featuring fast drying, easy operation, and easy grinding. However, it is inferior to polyurethane Midway Primer in terms of adhesion, thickness, tightness, and waterproof performance. Before the primer is applied, clean and degrease the zone to be coated. Otherwise, it may result in poor adhesion. Choose the suitable product according to the kind of substrate. The two-component product shall be blended with paint and curing agent according to the requirement given in the product manual. The blended shall be used up within a reasonable time limit. Otherwise, the coating performance may be affected. Since the proportion of filling pigment is higher than that of the primer, the filling pigment in the Midway primer may sink to the bottom. Stir it well before use. Concluding remarks. Finally, through the introduction and study of the above content, we hope you could reasonably choose the substrate treatment materials and reasonable usage methods, and that you may apply them in practical work with skillfulness and improvement.